Hello and welcome to our daily news broadcast, where today we will be talking about NAFTA and its effects it has had on Mexico. So first of all, we have to ask what NAFTA is. And NAFTA is a trilateral free trade agreement implemented in 1994, which was signed by the US, Mexico, and Canada. And this agreement allowed a more free flow of trade between these three countries, and all have benefited within the agreement. And the central thrust of NAFTA was to eliminate most tariffs on products traded among the United States, Mexico, and Canada. The terms of the agreement called for these tariffs to be phased out gradually, but have been only in effect since January 2008. So, one of the good things that NAFTA has done to Mexico is that the GDP per capita has grown at a rate of 1.2% annually, from $6,000 per year in 1995 to now about $8,000 per year at this moment. The exports in Mexico have increased a lot, more than 300%, bringing more money into the Mexican economy. NAFTA has promoted trade within Mexico, and it has helped the country reduce the inflation that it previously had. The prices on many imported products, such as clothes and televisions and other things, have also had a dramatic decrease in price since NAFTA was implemented, as the US and Canada specialize more in the production of those products.
Inflation in Mexico in the 1980s was 80%. Even though the inflation rate decreased the past 10 years before NAFTA was in effect, it helped reduce the inflation rate significantly. Before the NAFTA agreement was installed, many companies were inefficient because they did not have that much competition, and they were not using the resources to a full effect. Mexico was producing a wider range of products, which did not help the Mexicans have the best quality of products, hence the quality of life was low. Many Mexicans fled the border in search for a better life, as many did not have jobs, were not living well, and the inflation was high. There has been a dramatic shift in the economy since NAFTA was in effect. The NAFTA agreement allows Mexico to trade with more countries, especially with the United States of America. Trade has increased, as the Mexican farm exports to the US have tripled since NAFTA's implementation alone. It shows that it allows all countries within NAFTA agreement to trade more freely with one another, and getting huge benefits from these deals. It allows countries to make a lower price on imported products compared to when they produce them, making more people spend money and helping the economy of Mexico grow.
Currently, Mexico has been proposing the idea with Central American countries in a free trade agreement that could possibly benefit the growth in the Mexican economy. Mexico already has individual trade agreements with Costa Rica, Nicaragua, El Salvador, Honduras, and Guatemala that have stood since 2001. But with this new pact, Mexico will ensure that the trade with major coverage of the countries in Central America.
So some negative aspects that have arisen through NAFTA is that it might be a little bit harder for the Mexicans to trade more things with the United States and Canada, because the Canadians and the Americans specialize in the production of more products, and Mexico has a fewer amount of products in which they specialize in. This leads to Mexico being a little bit weaker in exporting things, because they are producing things which the Canadians and Americans are already good at producing. Therefore, it swings the competition for America and Canada more in their favor. Another negative impact that NAFTA has had in Mexico is that there has been a geographic inequality, meaning that the north of Mexico, which is closer to the US border, has been able to grow more because of its location. The south part of America has grown less due to its location, and this has created an unequal economic balance between the north and south, which isn't that great.
Mexico has recently been negotiating to a Trans-Pacific Partnership. It also is part of the NAFTA, Mexico-Singapore Bilateral Trade Agreement, and multiple agreements with individual countries in all of the continents.
So that about wraps up our daily news broadcast. Thank you for watching, and we hope to see you again tomorrow.